It's that time of year again. The sun's just shown its face for the first time in 2024 and we immediately asked, is Rhyl any better this year? So we're asking, did the sky fly a fly? Are the steam trains steaming? And have the council finally invested in any blue paint to sort out the marine park? If you don't know us, I'm Rachel, he's Wills and we are Postcard and a Pint. So let's get on the A55 and have a good old British seaside day out. Ooh, that's very vintage. Are you off out to the seaside too? Have a lovely day. We're off to Rhyl and...
We're all parked up and we're super excited because we haven't done a Rhyl vlog for a year and we're so excited to see what's changed. But this time we're going to mix it up. We're going to start down at the nature reserve and marine lake and work our way up and have a look what's different. Come with us.
Anything else?
And Will says if I behave myself we can have fish and chips on the beach. Champion.
Better behave yourself then. It really was a beautiful day and Rhyl was looking glorious in the sunshine. I didn't think we counted as Europe these days. Bad times. First stop, the musicians' sculptures, and we hope you're feeling better soon, Mike. Then the Dragon Bridge. It looks a bit like a dragon's wing. That could be the dragon's face. Whatever it's supposed to be, it's quite a pretty bridge. You can catch fishing trips and boat trips from here. But today we're going to walk and check out the nature. There's Rhyl peeking through the grass. There's Will strolling along the boardwalk. And there's a gorgeous dog that needed a good pet. Good lad. Now tell us more about this piece of land you're on, if you'd be so kind, Rach.
We've never really explored this part of Rhyl before, the nature reserve. It's called Horton's Nose and it's named after the fella Horton who used to use it. He used to dredge for gravel, apparently. They've planted grass here to make it all duney and apparently the whole front of Rhyl used to be like this back in the day.
What? No arcades, donuts and very ugly swimming pools? What were they thinking? All joking aside, this area is beautiful and full of wildlife. It also has some stunning and empty beaches. This area of Rhyl is perfect for just walking or dog walking or just finding a nice quiet place to sit and just be. We'd had a lovely walk, but it was now time to move on. Where to next? Rhyl, go on then. We went alongside the marina. We saw these chaps fixing their boat. It was a pleasant walk. This building houses both a cafe and bicycle hire. And this bridge is iconically known as the Blue Bridge. What a genius name. But it's back over Dragon Bridge as we're off to Marine Lake. Now remember last year, Rhyl Council, when we told you to go out and buy a few tins of blue paint to smarten this place up? Did you listen? Of course you didn't. Ah well, today we're finally here when the steam train is open and we're going for a ride. This little railway opened on May the 1st, 1911. It goes all the way around Marine Lake and for £3.50 you can ride it. All aboard? It only takes 5 minutes to circumnavigate the lake, but it's a lovely thing to do. In 1969, this little railway closed after a dispute between the council and the leisure group who ran the amusements on this lake. Sounds familiar? Thankfully, the Rhyl Steam Preservation Trust, a registered charity, was formed and the railway began operating again in 1978. This does make us happy. In fact, it makes us want to go like this. Yes, indeed. We're almost back to the station, as there's Aldi on the left. It had been a great trip and something neither of us had done before. There is a small museum housed within the station, and Wills thought he recognised these two. We went into the museum, and don't worry, lad, I'm not going to touch you, Thomas. The tank engine, you grubby lot. I don't know, I bet you all thought I was talking about the Cock of the North. Not me, I'm here for the trains. There is plenty of info both in the museum and outside. How was that then, Rach?
That was really good fun and we do love a heritage steam train ride, even a miniature one. Has this area improved? It's the same as it was last year and the year before, but when you look at pictures like this one behind me of how it was back in the 1920s, it's now not a patch on how it was.
It really was quite the place in Victorian times. It's still a lovely place for families, and of course there's the steam train. Just buy a few tins of blue paint, eh, Rhyl Council? Now, Wills, who was that couple?
And randomly, we've just bumped into the parents of a guy I was in school with in primary school, so I haven't seen them for 35-something years. Amazing. Hope you're well, Leon.
I've obviously been good, because now we're going to go and see if we can get some chips.
Happy days.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ryl's number one, fish and chips no less. OK, that looks like someone's house, but they seem to sell fish and chips, so all is well. Get that salt and vinegar on. Thanks for that. Now we're off to the beach to enjoy these bad boys, as you can't beat fish and chips on the beach. A review, please, Wills.
Okay, a fish and chip review from Ryl's Best Chippy, allegedly. Now, I've already started. The chips look actually quite overdone. But, hello. But they're actually really nice. There's a generous helping of salt and vinegar on them, which I like. A lot of chips you get are underdone. I prefer mine to be slightly overdone. And these are fish. Oh, I've got to score them, haven't I?
Yeah.
The chips I give... Ooh. Can we give three quarters or halves? It's not quite a 4, but 3.5 seems a bit mean. No, I'll give the chips a 4. I like them. 4 out of 5 for the chips. So the fish, again, I've already tasted. Good batter. I like batter. The fish is slightly overdone, I think. A little bit, not greasy at all. I'm going to give the fish a 4. So 8 in total, fish and chips.
Yeah, as Will said, the chips do look a bit overdone, but they are really, really tasty. Plenty of salt and vinegar. I'd actually give the chips, I think, 4.5. Like you, I like them a bit more overdone. Right, onto the fish. Not as impressed with the fish, to be honest. I think the fish is a bit flat. Is that a word to describe fish? It's not as fluffy. A little bit greasy, but very tasty. I'm going to give the fish 3.5. So that will be a score of 7.5 from me.
Math's not your strong point.
Champion.
Obviously not. Rhyl may get a lot of bad press. It once held the title of the worst seaside town in Wales, but you cannot fail to be impressed by its stunning beach. We don't particularly like the newer buildings along the front, and we wish more could have been done to preserve the older, more classic buildings. But wherever Rhyl feels tired and tatty, just cast your eyes out over the beach and see. It's glorious, that vast sandy beach and just a handful of tourists enjoying it. We've had a lot of storms of late, and a lot of the sand is now on the prom. We noticed a lot of building work around town. The central part of the beach is also undergoing a huge amount of work to improve the flood defences for the town. So although it seems as though not much has changed since last year, things are definitely changing. A lot of the seafront kiosks had to go for this work, but at least the crazy golf has survived. As has this artwork, and it's looking a little tidier. Rach?
We've just come back to the Moments in Time wall. Now, I don't know if it's a really nice sunny day and it looks better, or they've actually given it a bit of wash and replaced some tiles, but it looks cleaner, nicer, like it's been regrouted. Well done, Rhyl.
This wall shows pictures of Rhyl from its older, and some may argue better days, back when it had a pavilion and cars were square. When people went boating, and did you know Rhyl was home to the first passenger hovercraft in the UK? A service ran between Merseyside and Rhyl back in 1962. Beauty and lovely legs competitions were a Seaside favourite. It was quite the place to be, eh, Wills?
I remember that monorail.
It was a total failure, opening in 1980 and running for only 6 weeks. This is the section of coast currently having the flood defences worked on, so it was over the road to continue our journey that way. It was a bank holiday weekend, and the Seaside and rock shops were open and doing good business. The air was alive and filled with the smells of sugar, burgers and... Oh, hello! Is that an arcade? Can I? Thanks, Wills! Today is a great day. First stop, the 2p change machine. Next to find the machine most likely to give me a prize. She's got jugs, she's got crabs, And she's found her machine. Let's play. Will soon got bored and wandered off to film flashy lights, lucky ducks and monkeys. Maybe I should have played lucky ducks instead. Or maybe I should have picked this machine because over at mine it was going like this. Yep, I lost and was not happy. Up past the Premier Inn we went, and then I saw Les Harker's Amusements. Let's have another go. Wills tried to interest me in a game of bingo. I didn't really get it, so went off with the last of Wills's £1.50 in search of some 2p madness. I didn't win again. Ironically, Wills now needed a p, and I'd spent all his pennies on the arcades. Cross your legs, lad. We decided to go and check out the fair to see if that was any different to last year. It didn't seem to be. It's definitely a fair that caters more to very young children. There's really only the Sizzler and the Dodgems for the older kids. And once again, it was a beautiful day, and there weren't many people there. Although, if that's your idea of a log flume, I'm not surprised. So the fair is exactly as it was last year. Let's head over the road into town. This clock tower from 1948 marks the start of the High Street. The High Street was pretty busy. It's mainly seaside shops and discount stores, but there was life about town. This rock shop has been here for as long as we can remember, and we both used to enjoy buying rock here as kids. These days they've even got clown lollies and dragons. On with our explorations, and it seemed the further away from the sea you got, the quieter it got. Let's try the shopping centre. It's only small, but it did seem that most units were full and operating. Excellent news. Once again, all around town, it seems that building work and restoration is taking place. This is the town hall, built in 1876. If you look closely, you'll see the clock tower is leaning slightly. The Leaning Tower of Rhyl doesn't really have the same ring to it as Pisa. The George is doing well, and Wetherspoons has got some new chairs. The Queen's Market is currently under renovation. Let's see what they've done with the other side of this beautiful building. You are kidding me. It looks like a garage. Another eyesore on the front. Right, that's enough of town. Let's head back to the sea. Oh dear, what's happened here? Fill us in, please, Rach.
This is another sad loss for Rhyl. The sea aquarium has now closed. All the work on the front with the digging was starting to stress out the animals. If you watched our Rhyl towing video, we came here last year and it was a lovely place. To be fair, it's been looking tired for years, but it was a lovely place, but unfortunately, it's had to close.
So another venue gone. Let's hope it can return once the work on the front is finished. By now, Wills was desperate for a wee, so a bar with a toilet was in order. Just after we've watched this moonwalking seagull. You strut it, my son. And fly. Oh, and just before we get to the Kite Surf Cafe for Wills to wee, there's more bad news for Rhyl this year. Fill us in, news anchor Rach.
Another massive blow for Rhyl this year is there's not going to be an air show. The council have decided not to hold it because the Red Arrows can't attend. They're off on tour abroad. That is one day of the year when the entire of Rhyl is packed, booming. The pubs, the shops, restaurants all do such good trade. So another huge blow this year.
It's such a shame, as general consensus is that it would still be well attended even without the Red Arrows. Still a bit of a walk, sorry Wills? Look at all that beach. You can't complain about the beach being crowded here. Finally, the Kite Surf Cafe. Now you get in, Wills, and have yourself a wee. I'll grab a table, you queue for drinks, then it's shandy in the sun. Cheers. Suitably refreshed, we were off again. And here is the final instalment, we hope, into Rhyl's Skyflyer.
Zip World finally gave up with the Skyflyer. Bless the Skyflyer. I think it flew about 3 times as test. It was a failure and it's gone.
At least all the people who live opposite don't have to look at a huge balloon anymore and they can see the sea once again. We took a quick stroll around the theatre as Wills wanted to see his favourite Rhyl graffiti once again. Charming. Rhyl may have less available facilities and events this year, but When the sun's in the sky, you can't beat it. With all the work currently going on in the town and on the seafront, we really are excited to see what 2025 brings for Rhyl. But if you're looking for a place with a vast sandy, uncrowded beach, then do give Rhyl a look. It might not be there yet, but it certainly feels as though change is imminent. Our day in Rhyl was drawing to an end. Let's catch up back at home for some final thoughts.
Wasn't that an absolutely lovely day? You can't beat the seaside when the sun's in the sky.
You can't beat a bit of Rhyl. Never thought I'd hear that sentence be said. Anyway, what I did find quite interesting this time is normally we park down by the theatre and the Rhyl Pavilion end. And then what happens is we get to the top, or the bottom, however you like to call it, we get to by the nature reserve, the Dragon Bridge thing. And we're normally tired by then and can't be bothered filming. So it was quite interesting starting that end and walking back, I found anyway.
Yeah, so Rhyl, is it any better this year?
Not really.
No, probably not. It's probably worse off amenity-wise. It's lost the Sea Life Centre. It's lost some kiosks on the front.
It's lost the air show.
It's lost the air show. It's lost the sky. Well, the Skyflyer never really happened. All for this work that's going on.
And a load of kiosks.
Yeah, but in town it actually felt livelier. It's got a lot less empty shops in Wrexham.
And there was a lot of scaffolding up, a lot of building work going on. So hopefully
something's happening. I think 2025 in Rhyl is going to be.
We're going to be back next year. We're going to give you Rhyl Worth Visiting in 2025.
I'll tell you what I don't like.
What's that?
That new market.
Oh, it looks like a garage, doesn't it? It looks like Quick Fit.
It does. I hope they've incorporated the old building that's at the back of it into the build, and when they open it, it's part of it, because on its own, it looked like it's coming from a flat pack from IKEA.
It was horrible, wasn't it? Hey, we've got a shout out.
We have got a shout out.
We've got a new patron. Thank you so much, Elizabeth Rush. Thank you
Rush.
very much.
She's made us a large one.
She's paid us a large one.
Cheers.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Very kind of you.
Yeah.
And also, if you do want to join the Patreon, if you don't know about it, I'm sure you do, but if you don't know about it, it's
a club. It's a family.
It's a little gang. It's our gang. It's our family. We post videos on there. It's not that expensive. There's 3 tiers. Even the most expensive tier is less than the price of 1 beer a month. So, you know, if you fancy it.
We're going to record a Patreon video in a minute, because we've got some news to share with our Patreons.
We have got some news,
We have indeed.
But you'll have to wait.
You'll have to wait to find out about that, unless you join our Patreon.
Anyway, we should probably finish off,
shouldn't we? We should wrap this up. If you'd like this video, we'd be very, very grateful.
If you hit that button, if you do the subscribe thing, join the Patreon if you fancy it.
Just, the more you can do for this video, the more it pushes it out
do
to
a
YouTube.
comment, do the ask. We answer all questions, we answer all comments and all that.
We don't always know the answers, but
no.
we answer.
Anyway,
as we say,
in postcard and a pint.
Cheers
to the good times. Got me Wrexham lager. Elton John thinks sorry seems to be the hardest word.
Does he?
Yeah, he's obviously never tried to say Llanfair plus Gwyngus Gogeric Windrol Santa Stilio Gogogog.
Oh.